So in 2022, right, the Game said Kanye has done more in the last 2 weeks than Dr. Dre did his entire career. In the comment section of a diverse mentality Instagram post, you wrote, "Really?" When someone commented, "And this is why he wasn't at the Super Bowl," you replied, "Exactly. Can't depend on an unstable cat for something as epic as that." What were you feeling like when you saw that? Because I'm sure you got to witness all the things that Dre helped do for his career. So it's like a insult.
No, it's directly an insult.
Yeah.
Like I said, Dre is my big brother. Dre is someone I look up to. He's my mentor. He's my teacher. He's my family. I thought Game was family. But when you can look at someone that helped make you and you piss on them, you're not just hurting him. And it may not have affected him, but it affected me. It affected me. And there was nothing cool about it. It was not like we actually saw each other after that. And I just asked him, and if Game ever, wants to go face to face, and I'll bring it up. He was at Joey's, and I walked in, and he was sitting in a booth, and I walked up, and we made a couple of jokes, and he was very cool. But I was like, "Are you and Dre good?" Especially after that, "Are you and Dre good?" I didn't have to show up with goons. I was with my best friend, but I asked him. I was like, "Are y'all good?" Because that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. And he was like, "Yeah, I gave him a call and blah, blah, blah." And anybody that talks about Dre, talks about my brothers in the ICU, talks about my family, I have ways I feel and I have things I want to say. I just don't want to get so deep into it because people don't know how to keep things cool. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? All of a sudden you're getting shot at, or people want to turn around and jump you and show up in places that you are with a bunch of goons, and I'm not that guy. We can be adult and still have a conversation about things. And I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to. I don't care how many records we did. I don't agree with you. I don't. Because if you weren't with Dr. Dre, you wouldn't have met Kanye. So you might want to rethink that. That's how I felt.
Yeah, because in the past you've said Game was your guy, you know what I mean? But he did go on to say crazy stuff like Dre never gave him a beat, he never had Dre on a record, and it was just like things that you could find from the leak songs and everything like that. That I mean, you can rebuke all that, you know what I mean? Like you can like it was crazy to hear him say those things when he was going on that interview tour basically for that Drillmatic album, when he was saying
Right.
a lot of stuff about Dre that was really disrespectful. And I think that all fans were really like disturbed by that. You know what I mean? Because we watched it. We watched him in his career.
You have to look at the fact that Game is I'm sorry, excuse me. Game is a little bit of a hybrid. He has old school in him, but he also has young school in him. And as time progresses, infamy became greater than being famous. So if you get the world talking and you put out an album, you're your best billboard. Everybody's going to want to listen to the album to see if you're dissing Dre, to see
Right.
if you're this, you know what I'm saying? So he really leaned off of that. And then, I think later on he was someplace being apologetic and Dre's this and Dre's that, and he's the greatest and blah, blah, blah. And then he does it again or whatever. Unfortunately, infamy is way more popular than being famous. And these kids will say whatever they have to say to get eyes on them. Look what Kanye's doing. The same person that he was talking about, Kanye put out a t-shirt with a swastika on it.
Right.
And watch him put out an album soon. You know what I'm saying? Like it's infamy. You want to be bigger than life in a moment, and it's just a moment. It's a moment, and you're selling yourself short for a moment instead of being part of an event. Go ahead.
I think that that's what people were upset about with like the whole Black Slim Shady thing, him dissing Eminem, because like all his career he did nothing but commend Eminem and said that he was the best and he would never want to battle him, you know. And it was like everybody I think can agree that Game is a great rapper. He can rap his ass off, right? But throughout his career, people have been turned off by some of the antics that he's done. And like you said, the going back and forth of saying one thing 1 minute, then like changing it around. That's why 50 never wanted to kind of resolve things, because 1 minute he was saying, fuck G Unit. Then he said, oh, I want a G Unit reunion, you know, and it's really hard to trust somebody like that.
You lean on a rickety pillar. If it's unstable, you're not going to lean on it, and that's just fact. It's I'm not going to put my weight on something that's not showing me it's going to stand the test of time, and that's just fact.
Right. And you actually worked with him on the Born to Rap album too, on the I didn't want to write this song, right? With Marsha, that you
Well,
produced that.
I worked with Marsha.
Oh, okay.
Marsha,
So then she gave
yeah,
that record to Game.
yes,
Got
yes, I
you.
worked with
Okay.
Marsha. This was actually Marsha was the one that produced the record, and then I produced for her. She wanted to flip that sample. She had the whole verse and chorus and all that stuff. She had all that stuff written, and
Mm,
she was like, "I just need you to build it." Like it was around the same time that we did this project, Nyla, and so I was already orchestrating stuff for her, and she just wanted me to orchestrate it and build it out for her. And I thought that the simplicity of my approach would just kind of make it sound like she's angelically singing. You know what I'm saying? So I made her the main focal point of the record. And even back then when it came out, I was correcting a lot of people that were posting that I produced it. I was like, I didn't produce that. Marsha produced it, and I helped produce what Marsha needed me to produce. But that's Marsha's
got you.
production. Yeah.
So you
Big shout out,
denied.
sis. Big shout out. No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, just shouting out Marsha. That's it. Shout out to my
Yeah,
sister.
it's amazing, beautiful, man. She's just, whoo, she's just
Yeah,
such a talent. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes,
she's, yeah.
yeah.